Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Tyra Gardner, and I am your host this evening of What's Going On. Tonight, we're going to be talking with Dr. Lanysha Adams. Dr. Adams is a 7-time award winning author of Me Power and director of the Student Wellness Center at Santa Fe Community College. Beyond her dedication to education for over 20 years at various levels, she's a mother of two, a language enthusiast, and avid traveler. Her passion lies in reshaping professional development as a continual cycle of unlearning, learning, and relearning. Dr. Adams has been featured on prestigious platforms such as The Roland Martin Show, American Heart Association, Reader's Digest, Fox Business, Washington Business Journal, Bold Journey Magazine, Blavity Incorporated, Black Brown Girl Collective Book Club, numerous podcasts, and various syndicated radio shows. I welcome you, Dr. Lanysha Adams. Welcome to What's Going On with Swagger. How are you this evening?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing so well. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So happy. You have a awesome background. Oh my goodness, and I can't wait to dive into these questions. So, first, you recently transitioned from being a full-time entrepreneur for 7 years to working full-time for a college. Tell us about your transition.
Yeah, it's quite different. I mean, when you're working for yourself, I think we glamorize the life of an entrepreneur, but there is one thing that is really great about it is you get to set your own schedule. You get to determine the focus of your work and the scope
Mhm,
without someone telling you, directing
mhm,
you.
mhm,
And there is a lot of freedom there. So when I was looking for, I've just left the DC area after living there for 9 years. We moved back
okay,
to New Mexico over the summer. And when
okay.
I was looking for, like, how do I reintegrate into a community where it's so family focused here? It's not
Mm,
necessarily career oriented in the same way that DC is.
mhm,
So, when you're so focused on your career and you're not focused on family, and you
mhm.
don't have family that lives here, you got to get in somewhere, right? Where
Okay.
people see you and
Mhm,
you're active in the community in some way.
mhm.
So I was thinking I want to do that more than just the way of like my kid's school.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, I'd pick a job where I could go every day and like service people and be in the
Mhm,
community. And one of the main factors was, do I get to have the autonomy to
mhm,
set my schedule to a certain degree, and do I get
mhm,
the autonomy to kind of shape my team and
mhm,
be entrepreneurial? And
mhm,
so I picked this director role, which affords me all of that. And
mhm,
it's nice. My son goes to
mhm,
school here. I'm able to drop him off. My
mhm,
youngest son goes to school here. Drop him
mhm.
off, come to my office. I get to be away from home. So I've been doing remote work for the past 8 years. Like
Okay.
from home, and then I
Mhm,
had a co-working space when I was in DC. So I had an
mhm,
office, but it's so different that, seeing people every day, seeing the janitors, seeing the
mhm,
students who are here. The community college where I'm at, there's a high
mhm.
school. So I started
Nice.
a career as a high school teacher. So seeing young people and being surrounded by them
Mhm.
and watching their little dramas, it's exciting. It's like, wow, like this is totally different than I gotta hit these calls, I gotta go to these meetings, I gotta
Mhm,
do this, in the capacity of being a consultant and a coach. Running my
mhm,
own business for 7 years, like it's kind of wild, the difference. So the
mhm,
transition has been good, but it is different. I don't have the complete autonomy, but I do
mhm,
have enough to help me
mhm.
adapt pretty well.
Right. You have a window of space where you can navigate both and feel fulfilled.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, because I know it can be difficult. With having an office space, it's not the same when you don't see everybody.
It is not. No.
And then you form a relationship with these people just from saying hello every day. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's nice. It's like it feels old school, like it feels like a world that we don't necessarily live in anymore. Like you can connect
Mhm.
with people on, all the Zoom meetings and whatever, but
Yes.
just seeing somebody in a hall, you don't have to have a whole long conversation. That's a
Mhm.
whole experience. So it's
Yes.
it's it's nice. I do after having not had it for a while,
Hmm.
having it, it's like, oh, it's so nice. It's
Hmm.
actually enjoyable. So
Yeah, it's warm and fuzzy. I know. I just transitioned myself, so I get it. So, right. What inspired you to write Me Power? And what message do you hope readers take away from it?
yeah, so I was really inspired to write this book because I wanted to have something that lived beyond me that people would read.
Hmm.
I've written other things, but in an academic sense, and I don't think the readership would be there. So
Hmm.
I wanted to write a book, and I wanted the book to be about something really meaningful to me, and that was challenging this idea of this word that's overused, empower. I mean,
Hmm.
people throw it around so much that it kind of loses its meaning. And then
Hmm.
when I started unpacking, like, okay, this is what this word means, it was interesting looking at the history. Like, it's not what we think it means.
Hmm.
Like it means we're literally giving up power, or we're looking to authority from other people to give something to us.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like not what empowerment is, at least according to my perspective.
Hmm.
So when I started unpacking like more, like how does that play out, and then really fleshing the book out, I was like, wow, this would be really great for people who want to empower others, right? And so
Hmm.
if you're in a capacity of educating somebody or counseling them or
Hmm.
helping in a nonprofit kind of way,
Hmm.
I think we have to start with this idea that we empower ourselves first, and power is coming from the inside out rather
Hmm.
than looking for it coming from the outside in, and then
Hmm.
trying to help other people and pacifying them in a way.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I was really motivated to write the book, and that's who I was hoping would read it, and it would be helping them in their
Okay.
capacities.
Awesome. And can you elaborate on the concept of personal agency and how individuals can harness it for positive change?
Yeah, so I talk about this like idea. I mean, I center me in the concept because I flipped the prefix from M to me,
Hmm.
and this it should be thought of like a me first kind of philosophy. And
Hmm.
if you want to achieve anything, you really have to have the desire internally to move you, and
Hmm.
there is an agency there, whether or not you feel like you have control over certain situations. Whatever
Hmm.
cards you're dealt, right? We don't get to stack that. We don't get to figure out, okay, there's 52 cards in the deck. Like, it is
Hmm.
what it is. But
Hmm.
we do have a response to how we play the hand. And
Hmm.
so I think it's very important for us to think about the agency we have, and how we move through life. And then
Hmm.
to think about that not only as an individual, but also in relationship to other people. So we're not alone. And
Right.
it's looking to, well, who do I choose
Hmm.
to go with me? Who do I choose to consult? Who do I choose to be a mentor or advisor or someone to
Hmm.
walk the path? And so I think that's what I'd say to answer that question.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You discussed the idea of choosing guides in your book. How can individuals identify the right mentors or guides to support their personal growth journey?
Yeah, so I think we often have defaults, like people that are in our family or people we know or friends we've had for a long time, and
Hmm.
those may not be the right guides. Like essentially, you should think like, well, what is it that I want to learn? Where do I have to grow? And then maybe I don't know any of the people who can help me along the way, but you can
Hmm.
start looking to identify where are the gap areas, and then who might you connect with in a new
Okay.
way. And I don't think a guide is someone holding your hand the whole time. It's
Hmm.
really just looking to someone practical that you can communicate with and
Hmm.
learn from. And I think most professionals, they want to help. They want to talk to people. Whether or not you have to pay them is another question. But I think most people, they'll talk to you just to see, like, okay, well, what do we have in common? What do we have to share? What do we have to learn and teach each other?
Hmm.
And I think identifying like where those gap areas are is like the first step for that for people.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, because it's like when you look at, people who look for mentors or someone to help guide them, they have to be strategic. They have to be strategic on who they select because if they're not, they'll end up in a situation where they might find themselves not being served the way that they want to be, especially professionally. So I, totally understand that, and I like that answer. Okay. What do you have going on? What's your focus as an entrepreneur now?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
I think yeah, my primary focus is really just making sure that I'm putting my thoughts out there in writing and public speaking. I wrote this book, Me Power. It was published in 2022.
Mhm.
And then I just recently launched the audiobook this month. And so promoting that and really making sure that people know.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Knowing that, like, I narrated it, and then
Mhm.
and it was done in studio and it was professionally done. So
Mhm.
just having another medium to digest that information.
Mhm.
And then I'll be doing a TED Talk on April 20th. And then I have some public speaking engagements from now until June, and
Mhm.
just keeping that pace up of like being in front of the right audience
Mhm.
to share the message of me power and like how that helps people grow personally
Mhm.
and professionally. And I think in
Mhm.
any context that's really key, but in higher ed and education in general,
Mhm.
it's my passion area, it's my background, and really wanting to promote that. I think it's interesting, like, right, being a part-time entrepreneur. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people talk about going from maybe their side hustle to full time.
Mhm.
And rarely do you
Right.
hear stories about full time to side time, like, and that, I mean, so maybe there's a pivoting back and forth over a
Mhm.
lifetime. If you're once an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur, really. So,
Mhm.
um,
But you know what? A lot of people are doing that more. I've been encountering that a lot from a lot of people that I talk to or frequently, and they're like, "Tyra, I can't do it." I'm like, I did this, this full time entrepreneurship. I did it. It's overrated. I'm going back to work, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to have an excuse to why you need to return back to the workforce. It's okay. It's okay to go back and do your business on the side if that's what you want to do. Go part-time. It's okay. It's like I think, when everybody started thinking more about entrepreneurship, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Dr. Adams, I think a lot of people was thinking of, "Oh, I can get out there. I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't have to I can go on vacation when I want to. I can call out sick when I want to. I don't have to answer to nobody." Failing to realize, hello, you got to answer to yourself when that money ain't coming in on them days. How you gonna live? And I
no,
think that was the glory. The
yes.
glory. Everybody was glorifying it, and I think that's what happened.
Yes, I agree with you 1000%. I mean, it's so funny, like, working out of college, I get so much
Hmm.
time off. And then
Hmm.
spring break's coming up. My kids on spring break. I get paid time off. The concept is so foreign to me. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? And then
Hmm.
people are like, well, I'm packing up, I'm going on vacation, I'm doing it. And I'm thinking, what? Vacation? What is this? What is this foreign concept? And so it's like, if you don't work, you don't eat if you're an entrepreneur. And even with a
Exactly.
team, and if you have a team, then that
Hmm.
is just even more amplified. And so shifting outside that mindset has been like a release valve for me,
Hmm.
because there's only so much pressure that a person can take.
Right.
And then when you think about, okay, well, how do I want to move? How do I
Hmm.
really want to, accelerate to my next level and grow?
Hmm.
And sometimes you need space and freedom to do that in a
Yes.
way that maybe you didn't anticipate. Because if
Hmm.
you had asked me a year ago, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. But
Hmm.
our move really, and like the context of where we live, really
Hmm.
shaped what I could do. Like back in DC, you can get childcare from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. if you need. Here, that's not really a reality because people are so family
Really?
focused, right? So if you have your
Wow.
kids, you're going to be with your kids, or you're going to be with somebody to help take care of them. That's your family.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
so different, culturally, that's so great. But then
Hmm.
there are sacrifices that come from that, right? So you can't
Yes.
work all these hours. You got to really concentrate it in a certain time. And if most of my business is on East Coast hours and I'm 2 hours behind on Mountain Time,
Hmm.
there are choices I have to make about that.
Right.
So it's been really interesting journey, but I'm happy to be on it and happy to be here with everybody.
Yeah, that's a big transition. Are you originally from the DC area?
No, no, I grew up in Southern California, so I'm closer to
Oh,
home,
okay.
but
Okay.
lived all around. But this is where I think I feel most at home because we have
Okay.
sunshine 300 days out of the year, four
Oh.
seasons. You can get in
Hmm.
and out anywhere you need to be. It's
Okay.
absolutely gorgeous. I'm total fan through and through of New Mexico. So
Wow. Look, that's a place that's actually on my list to visit.
oh, you
So
gotta
I'm
come out.
definitely going to have to come and check that out. I'm in Philadelphia. So right outside, not too far from DC.
Yep.
And, when you talking about the childcare, I'm like thinking I have friends that are childcare providers and they actually operate 7 days a week. I have one that has a 24-hour daycare and one that has a, 13-hour a week a day daycare. So I understand, and family is very important, and it's good that the practices in New Mexico is the way that they are, because I think the family system is something that has been lost when we look at a lot of the things that is happening within the family structure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that the state of New Mexico prioritizes that.
It's very important.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So all right. Well, is there anything else you would like to let us know today, Dr. Adams?
No, just people can follow me on social media at edlinguist on all the social handles, and then check out free copy, free chapter of the book, audio version or ebook version on my website lanysha.com. I think you're adding the link to other items, the newsletter and other
Hmm.
things that I have to
Yes.
offer. But I love to connect with people, so check me out.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. And let me ask you about the college. How do you like being in the position that you're in with the students?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's interesting, like being a director of a student wellness center. Like the wellness center is
Hmm.
new, and
Okay.
we I get to do these wellness checks. Like that's kind of a new thing I'm
Ooh.
doing this semester. It's midterms right now, and
Yes.
just kind of like targeting high performers, people who might need additional support, and like
Hmm.
really having a touch point with them. Like, hey, like how's it going? Like, what do you need? And it's
Hmm.
cool to be like asking folks like, what is it that you need, and really listening to them, and
Hmm.
then going and finding the resources to provide it for them,
Okay.
what it is that they need. So I love being in that capacity, in that helping
Hmm.
position, and then being able to see students all the time. And in the office, the
Hmm.
wellness center here includes
Hmm.
counseling, accessibility services, and then student support, student
Okay.
resources. And
Hmm.
so if students need, more just like different kind of touch points for how to take
Hmm.
care of themselves, that's
Hmm.
something that our office really focuses on. So it's nice to be in this space of like, how do I improve and not just be focused on grades? How do I improve
Okay.
that maybe I want to be stressed less. What does
Hmm.
that look like? And then
Yes.
I want to lower my anxiety. I want to be more grounded. Like I love
Hmm.
being in that space of thinking, strategizing about how to do that for the students, because then I get to benefit from that information too. And then
Yes.
we all get to benefit from it, right? Staff too, people who
Hmm.
intersect with students, and that just helps everybody be better people. So better
Yes.
people creates better worlds, I think.
Yes. And I'm glad that they have those services and that they have the wellness center, because I see a lot of college students. The past few years, I've been seeing a lot of college students because I'm a therapist by trade. And one of the things that is missed with that population is checking on them and making sure that they are well. And it's like when we think back to when we were in college, it's like I'm like trying to remember. I don't think nobody asked me if I was doing good.
No, you there. That's it.
they,
Like to
they
see if you're doing well. That was
they
not
left us alone.
right. That was not a conversation. If you needed help, you had to go scrounging around trying to find it. Like
Right.
nobody was checking for you.
They wait. You know what? They waited till it was too late.
Too late.
And so when we see, so when I see, a position like this and see, it's a powerful person that has this awesome position, I congratulate you. I'm so thankful that the students at that school at Santa Fe Community College have you, because this is definitely an area that is well needed. So God bless you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's such an honor to be here and to be in service.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. So, well, I want to thank you so, so much for coming on this evening to What's Going On and interviewing with us. Everyone, make sure you follow Dr. Lanysha Adams on all social media platforms. The link is in the bio, and we also have Swagger putting messages up for everybody to be able to connect with Dr. Adams as well. If anybody has any questions, you can put it in the comments for us, and we will take some questions if anybody would like to put some in, and we can talk about that before we sign off. And so, yeah. All right, I'm looking, trying to see. I don't see any as of yet. All right, and I know you said you were an avid traveler. Where's the farthest you've been?
Furthest I've been. Now that's an interesting question. I think
Mhm.
I don't know geographically. Maybe Scotland. I don't know.
Ooh, okay,
I
okay.
don't know if that's the furthest. Scotland, is that further than Alaska? I don't know. Maybe, or Hawaii.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
Scotland is. Yeah, Scotland's further.
It depends on where. Like
Yeah.
I think I flew. I can't remember where I flew from actually when I went there. But yeah,
Okay.
Scotland probably is the
Okay.
furthest. From me. But I'm really big on getting to all 50 states. So I got five left, and I count those states based on going to see something in the place. So not like flying or driving through.
Being in the airport, right?
Yeah, I gotta be in the environment, and yeah, it's been really interesting to try to get all 50 because I barely came up with that as a goal like 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been really interesting to try to like get it, but it's like man,
Mhm.
like these last states, it's so tough because you go to the same place all the time. Like usually when you go somewhere, you're like going, you've been there before. It's not
Right, right.
a
But
new.
Dr. Adams, I got that same goal, and I started it 25 years ago. I
How many
haven't hit them all.
how many states you
I
got?
I'm at 35.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but you want to really laugh though? I actually work out of. I have an office in Hawaii that I work out of now. I haven't been there yet.
Why is this hilarious? Why is this hilarious? Man, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah,
That's like one of the
yeah,
easier places to go.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So I gotta get there. I gotta get there. And I also noticed that you are a language enthusiast.
yeah, I studied applied linguistics, and I when I was younger, I was really big into Spanish. Like I grew up in Southern California, so
Okay.
Spanish,
Hmm.
Armenian,
Hmm.
Farsi were the languages of like my closest friends, which are
Right.
so different. And then my dad is from Western Samoa. It's my dad's side of the family, they speak Samoan, so that's
Okay.
different. And so I had all these different languages of a
Hmm.
focus. And then when I started studying, like figuring out what I would study for a career, I was like, well, I want to study the science of language. That's
Mm.
linguistics. And yeah, I think over time I've just been so fascinated, intrigued by it. But
Hmm.
then now, my latest, the next language I want to learn is American Sign Language.
Okay.
Because I think there's like huge opportunities to communicate with the deaf population that,
Hmm.
it's kind of like, unless you know somebody that's deaf, you can't communicate with them. It's
Right.
fascinating.
Hmm.
So I really want to be able to have a way to communicate with that demographic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Hmm.
really love language and like how people use it, and how
Hmm.
they, just the way we talk and like how we communicate is
Hmm.
so much of who we are. I mean, it's
Yes.
fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, because when you think about communication, we got, we have the way we speak, but we also have, in addition to sign, we got body language, and it's just like when we look at that. So yeah, language goes so deep. Language is very deep.
For sure. Yeah.
So all right. Well, this was an awesome interview. I want to thank you again, Dr. Adams. I want you to have a good evening. Everyone, thank you all for tuning in to What's Going On with Dr. Lanysha Adams. All of you have an awesome, awesome day. Take
Take
care.
care.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.